Hey, you. Looking for something? Where do you think you're going? Yeah. The captain said we might be getting a new recruit. That you, then?
Sounds like Clyde's jumping to conclusions, but yeah.
You're on a first-name basis with Captain Harlow, huh? All right, go on through. Got my sights on you.
That machine stole my bits. Why do we even have one of these?
Since we had a good haul. No freighters, no jobs, no contracts, leaks. Standing around.
Well, hey there, Hullhead. Clawed your way out of the groundbreaker?
Uh-huh. Oh, sorry, were you expecting me? I thought you were dead. Or throwing yourself against the walls of some re-education center. It's been 5 years, Clyde. The best thing you can say is, hey there, Hullhead?
No, Felix. The best thing I can say to you is yet to come. Also, I'd like to have a word with your captain. So, you took Felix under your wing. Kept him busy. Good. Kid always needed a place to belong.
Felix will always have a place in this crew. He's family to us now.
Hear that, Clyde? I've been making something out of myself.
So long as you haven't been making a fool of yourself. I'm sure Felix has no end of stories to tell of your exploits together. I look forward to catching up with the boy. I'm working on something. Something big. Something the likes of which Halcyon it. I'm fulfilling a promise I made to the boy. That one day, he and I would change the colony together. That day has finally arrived.
Easy there, Clyde. No one said nothing about throwing in with you. In case you didn't notice, I'm pretty happy where I am.
I'm not asking you to walk away from your captain, Felix. But neither should you allow yourself to be controlled by fear. Change is not to be feared. I brought you here because I want to know where Felix's loyalties lie. When the day of our revolution comes, I want to know that I can rely on him.
Boss, seriously?
Well then, if Felix proves himself to me, I should be more than happy to take him off your hands. I want you to deal with a traitor for me. Name's Trask. Kill him, and bring me proof of his death. His ring should do nicely. We're not a band of common pirates, Captain. We are revolutionaries. I expect a certain degree of intestinal fortitude from my soldiers. Trask was a coward. Then Felix will have done me a favor, and I will be grateful. I imagine we'll catch up on lost time, have a long talk about his future. I don't contest your claim to Felix's services, but he is his own man, and we are all of us responsible for our own destinies.
Hey, boss has a point. You're talking about me like I'm not even here.
I'm negotiating with your captain. You are her subordinate, at least for now. Ratted us out to the board. He's been an informant. Has been for years. When he realized I was onto him, he and his little cadre mutinied. Killed 5 of my own and tucked tail. I don't know where he's hiding, but his wife might. Rosanna. Lives on the Groundbreaker last I checked. Rosanna knows my crew by name and face, but you're a stranger to her. She'll talk to you.
Clyde offered me a hand when nobody else would. I'd say I owe him a good turn.
There you have it, Captain. A favor for an old friend.
You think so? Maybe we should have a word with Trask. Get his side of the story first.
You'd be wasting your breath bandying words with that traitor. But if it makes you feel better, by all means. Remember, I want proof. Here, my token. Think of this as my personal signature. Anyone who knows me by my works will know me by this token. Well enough. It's been a few years, but I still remember a thing or two. You had a chip on your shoulder. You'd argue over anything, and you'd never back down.
What do you mean, had? And for the record, you never could admit when you lost an argument.
You see what I had? A revolution is the work of a lifetime, Captain. I've spent my life preparing for the day of how. Everything you see around you is the result of that preparation. A base of operations, loyal soldiers, freedom from the board's oversight. Hardly. The board is rotting from the inside. Tomorrow, next year, a generation from now, eventually, the board will fall to pieces. Entropy is the natural state of the universe, Captain. All systems inevitably dissolve. When that day comes to Halcyon, we...
That was simultaneously the least scientific and most pompous statement I've heard in ages. What?
A vicar? I admit, I never imagined a man of the cloth living the adventurer's life. You do keep... Not all revolutions involve bloodshed and fire, Captain. The purest act of rebellion is to live according to one's own means. One day, when the board is weak and Halcyon vulnerable, we may claim a piece of this system for our... The skies around Scylla are curiously absent of patrol ships. It's almost as if the board's sphere of influence is shrinking. Besides, our facility is well armed and located on defensible terrain. If the board tries to lay siege to us, we'll make them.
We've arrived at the Groundbreaker.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regular...
You mind trying to have a moment? Rufus and I are no longer on speaking terms. I don't know where he is. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. You're telling me you're on a first-name basis with Ms. Tennyson? All right. I'm gonna take your word for it. Rufus is hiding out in Emerald Vale. Got a few friends with him. That's as much as I know. Please, just make it quick. That's right. Our marriage contract expired some months ago, and seeing how he's technically an outlaw, I wouldn't renew even if I wanted to. Precious little. He and Rufus worked together on the Groundbreaker some years back before he vanished. A few years later, Rufus gets a message from an old friend. Something about starting a revolution, something about getting rich. Abandoned his work and ran off that very day.
He must have been recruiting, gathering up his band of revolutionaries.
Word of advice, kid? Anybody carrying on about a revolution just wants to sell you something. I don't know Harlow. Never so much as bandied a word with the fellow. You're better off having this discussion with Rufus. Only that Rufus is in a bad way. He came to see me a little ways back. Said he had to go into hiding. Never asked why. He was here to collect his personals, complain about Harlow to me, and say goodbye. In that order. No, and he was particular about that. Said I was better off not getting entangled in... Appreciate it. No offense.
Rizzo's Berry Crunch, Sugar Gel Flakes, and Purple Berry flavored Power Nuggets. Now with 12%. Send more crunch. Rizzo's mock apple cider. A hard cider for a hard
Oh, it's...
How observant. I'm authorized.
slap your whole family tonight.
We are now in orbit above Edgewater, Captain.
Something got you down?
Spacer's Choice, the brand of choice. Use
I'd wager this is the outpost.
We all in one piece?
Huh. Rebecca taught me this once. You can jerry-rig these old... But we've only ever done that if we're in a... Hey, take a gander. The door's busted. Oh no. Oh no. What did you do?
Oh, hell. I'm sorry, Nyoka.
I don't... They were... That bitch! They were all set to abandon us! What would Clara say, huh? Every day she'd ask if we heard from you. And she'd have forgiven you! The kid had a soul that made the sulfur smell like roses! Ugh. Or to leave your medallions to rot with you, but... Clara would want to be buried with her sister. At least I know. Ought to have learned by now that getting one's hopes up tends to open them. I hate to say this, but Clara died thinking her sister was still fighting to get back home. I think I'm glad. If she were still alive now. Yeah, maybe. I'm used to Only thing left is to take these medallions home, which means figuring out how to bait the Mana Queen out of our old base. The most pissed off I've ever seen a queen was when a foreign species was on her soil. I'd wager the stench of a primal might... That'd be boring. Half the fun in exploring is the fact that you're on an unknown trail. I've never had the pleasure of hunting primals, but I hear they're all over Scylla. Let's tear a few apart, shall we? I'm sure they've got fair...
messes with you, boss.
Nice!
What's
Opening
up, boss?
fire!
I don't know who you are or why you're prowling around. You're one of Harlow's gun hands, ain't? Former wife. And if you so much as hurt a hair on Rosanna's head. Yeah, okay. I'm having a conversation with a hired killer, but Thing is, you and I are at an impasse. How do I know that I can trust you? Yeah, guess that's a fair point. Listen, I don't know what lies Harlow's dripped down your ear, but you'd be a fool to try. I never betrayed Harlow. Harlow betrayed all of us. The board's got him in their pocket, been paying him off for years. All that palaver about revolutions? It's a lie.
You're a real piece of work, Trask. Not just a turncoat, but a liar, too.
Go piss up a rope, kid. I've got nothing to prove to you. That's the whole truth. Harlow's just another board asset. A two-bit mercenary wearing a dissident's clothes. Yeah, I've got proof. There's always a paper trail when the board's involved. I chanced upon some correspondence between... I don't know that it makes a difference. What was I to do with that evidence? Bring it in front of the board? There's no authority in Halcyon willing to take Harlow to task. I hid my papers before Harlow chased me out. Back in the middle of the base, there's an old vent in a utility corridor. I stashed my evidence in that vent. Because he's for sale. Anything the board can buy, the board will buy, and that includes loyalty. Harlow was a charismatic bastard, and he was ruthless. With Harlow in their pocket, the board had an informant, a pirate, a smuggler, and a gang leader all rolled up into one odious excuse for a human being. Board-sanctioned piracy. Harlow went after the ships the board wanted destroyed, capturing anybody the board wanted captured. If we captured you, we'd ransom you. Harlow liked to do the job himself. Gather up the captives on his own ship, vanish for a couple of days. Only that's not what happened. Harlow's been selling his captives off to the board. I don't know where they ended up. Re-education. Take it, you've made up. You gonna tell Harlow I'm dead? May as well. I'm never going back to that life again. Here, take the ring. And for what it's worth, my gratitude.
What's the word? So it is. Thus ends Rufus I hope you never have to discover what it is like, Captain.
Trask had some things to say about you. And I've got my own misgivings.
That's a damning accusation. Am I right to presume you have some Those papers don't prove a thing. We've all done business with the board. They own the whole damn colony. Trask put you up to this. That miserable wretch. He's trying to undermine everything I stand for. You've got a lot of nerve calling me a liar to my face. How should I know? What the hell do I care? Trask was a traitor. I didn't ask you to understand his motives. I asked you to cross him off.
Clyde, look me in the eye and tell me it's not true. Tell me, and I'll believe you.
Don't talk to me like I'm some common criminal, Felix. You're the one on trial, not me. I don't know what kind of poison that snake dripped in your ear, but as...
Here they come! No! That's the last of them.
Jackass is incoming!
What? I think I heard something.
Heads up! Gotta get down! Nothing here!
Huh? Heard something.
Everyone all right? The void's black, water's wet, and Clyde hated the board. That's something I just knew. Now? I don't know. No. I've just got a lot on my mind right now. I always looked up to Clyde. The thought that he could be an agent of the board is just abhorrent to me. Yeah, he did. And I'm not sure how I'm gonna get over that. No kidding. I'm glad you keep the kitchen stocked. You've given me a lot to think about. Part of me wishes we put Trask in the ground. You know, I think that's just my frustration talking. Thanks for your time.
Destination reached. Scylla.
Incoming! Hell of a shot.
Unexpected noise identified performing in area.
Everyone all right?
That queen ain't gonna go down easy. What's up? Outstanding. These ought to be enough. There's an old base I used to call home. I can get us in the door, but we'll have to shoot our way through the Queen's brood to get to the center. Password to the door? Hayes' idea. Clara, Hayes, Anders, Rebecca, Opal, Nyoka. Charon. He said it was some... Rest of us just thought it's... Fucking right.
We're now in orbit above Fallbrook, Captain.
You seen Arthur today?
Nah, last time I saw him.
Whew, here we go. I haven't set foot in here since... Well, this is the spot. You know, I thought I'd be angry. I thought I'd storm in, but the first night Hayes and I spent in here. Monarch folks often joke about it. Not because of the smell or the grittiness it leaves in your throat. Not because of the headaches or the coughing. It's because there's no escaping it. It's life here, and there ain't anything you can do about it. But here, somehow the sulfur never made it. The nights we spent in here felt like vacations. So we started building. We hauled in steel, hired sublight folk to help. That's how we met Anders and Opal. They stuck around after our contract was up. Opal liked camping. Anders liked chasing her tail. 4 of us for a while, scraping together what bits we... And Clara, her little sister. Believe me, she had a head for numbers. Helped us trade hides for food and materials. Negotiated contracts. Clara, Hayes, Anders, Rebecca, Opal, and me.
Incoming!
I wish these were more auspicious circumstances, but at least we're all here. That makes it stupid. Captain, you mind if we rest a spell before we head out? I'd like to bury Opal in clay. What? Huh. That's...
Please do not leave items lying about the cargo hold.